Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then welcome to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to declutter my foundation collection. So this is the box where I keep my foundations. I also have few primers here and there, but I just thought of just getting rid of the foundations which I don't use at all. Like I have so many lying in here, but I only reach out for like 2 or 3 foundations on a regular basis. And I just thought of getting rid of the ones which I don't use at all, and I thought of doing it on camera because that way you get to really see which ones I just don't use and why I don't use. So I just think that foundation declutter or any makeup declutter is where you can tell if that foundation or if that product is good or not. I don't know, that's just what I feel. So I thought of doing that today, and let's start. So I'm just going to start in no particular order, and the first foundation that I see is just lying is this one. This is Coloressence Aqua Makeup Base Foundation in the shade Beige. Now if you guys are new to my channel, then I suggest that you go ahead and watch a series of videos that I made on foundations under ₹200. I think you would really get to see how these foundations perform because I've done like a dedicated review on those. Now I'm going to definitely get rid of this. This is something which I just did not like. I cannot stand the feeling of a heavy makeup. Like even though the foundation might look nice on the skin, if it feels heavy, I just cannot stand it. That's just a personal preference again, so I cannot really use this. I don't ever use this. Now in the video that I made of this foundation, a few of you suggested that I use a little bit of the product and then apply it on my face. That way this would look nice. But then again, I just don't like this as much as I like my other foundations, and that is one reason that I never use this. So I'm definitely getting rid of this foundation. Okay, then let's talk about this foundation, L'Oreal's Matte Magique. I'm definitely keeping this. I think one must have 2 types of foundations, 2 finish of foundations. One should be like a completely matte finish, and one you can have like a dewy finish, so that you can mix the 2 and make your custom finish. And that's what I like doing with this foundation. I do like using this on its own during summertime, but I don't think I'll be using this in the winter time. And I know I'm going to mix this with other very dewy foundations that I have, because I just love to, you know, customize the finish of my foundation, and that's why I do like it. I know that I've mentioned that I do not like the finish of this sometimes, especially when you have dry skin. It just clings on, it looks cakey. But then again, you can mix this with your very dewy foundation, you can make your custom finish, and I really like this foundation. I like the coverage, I like the undertone. I look past the finish sometimes. It can look cakey sometimes, but I look past it. However, I do keep using this time to time when I want to customize my foundation, so I'm definitely keeping this one. Okay, then let's talk about Revlon's Colorstay Foundation. I'm in the shade Natural Tan. By the way, I know a lot of you guys wanted me to mention the shades. In Coloressence, I bought the shade Beige 1, and in this one, I think I'm in the shade G3, even though it does not mention the shade here. But I will list the shades of all of these foundations in the description box below, so do not worry about that. So yeah, let's talk about this. I remember this as my first ever foundation that I bought. I did not have much knowledge on foundation, coverage, finish. I did not have any knowledge back then. Yeah, this is a very matte foundation, extremely heavy duty. It is full coverage foundation. It photographs really well. Then again, the only problem, same problem as this one, it does feel a little bit heavy on the skin. However, I would have liked to keep it, but this has expired, so I'm going to throw it away. I'm just going to discard it. Although if this wouldn't have expired, I would have kept it, only because I do like using this on special occasions when I know that I'm going to have a lot of pictures clicked. It does photograph very beautifully, lasts very long. So during events and stuff, during certain functions and stuff, I do like using this because how well it lasts and it photographs really well. But on a day-to-day basis, calm down. Okay, I just have a lot of foundations to talk about and I'm just rushing through. But anyways, on a day-to-day basis, I definitely don't use this. I would not recommend that you use this on a day-to-day basis unless you want like a full coverage foundation. So right now I would have to discard it anyways because it has expired, but if it wouldn't have expired I would have kept it for special occasions. However, I do not like how it feels. It just feels a little bit heavy. That's the only thing I do not like about this, and it can look a little cakey sometimes when you have dry skin and if you use it on non-exfoliated skin. So right now I'm just going to discard it. Would I repurchase it right now? I don't think so, only because I want to try other full coverage foundations. So I'm discarding this right now. Let's talk about GlamGals foundation. This is ultra waterproof liquid foundation. Now this says pure 100% matte, but this is, I think, the most dewy foundation in my collection. Like, I'm not even kidding, this is the most dewy foundations I have in my collection right now. I don't know why it says 100% matte, because it is not even satin finish, it is dewy finish. It just looks wet on the skin. By the way, this was sent to me by GlamGals for review, and the shade also matches me well. I have the shade LF17 Porcelain. Matches me well, I don't have any problem with it. The only problem I have is I love the coverage. It has a very beautiful, almost full coverage. I do like the finish also. I'm not a person who only loves matte foundation, even though I have you know, combination to oily skin. I do reach out for dewy foundations, I do reach out for satin foundations. I don't just restrict myself to matte foundations. And even though I like to have this kind of a finish, the problem is that it just starts looking oily in 2 hours. Like, it does not even look shiny, it looks oily in 2 hours, and it doesn't matter how much ever I'm powdering my face or if I bake my face, it just starts looking oily very quickly. That's the only problem I have. But then again, I am keeping it because I do use it on the days when I'm filming, because I don't have to, you know, be anywhere, and I know I'm just going to wash off the makeup in like 1 hour max. So I do use this on the days when I'm filming. I know that you guys also like this, because whenever I have this foundation on and I film videos, you guys leave me questions in the comments asking which foundation is that, and when you see like a very full coverage dewy foundation, then 99% of the time it is this foundation. So I'm definitely keeping it. In case you want suggestion, I mean, in case you are wondering to whom would I recommend this, only to people who have extremely dry skin. If you are oily skin and you do not like looking oily very quickly, you would not like this, but I'm still keeping it for filming and stuff. Talk about Blue Heaven's X Factor foundation. Again, this is something I've done a complete dedicated review on. I do not like it, I do not use it. I've never used it after doing that video. Like, definitely I'm just getting rid of it. Again, coverage, finish, how it blends, there's nothing which I like about this, so no point in keeping this. I have Lakme's Absolute Argan Oil Serum Foundation. I'm definitely keeping this. I haven't used it as much as I want to use it, only because I'm just keeping it for the winters, considering this has argan oil in it. I mean, it definitely has. I shouldn't have done this, but whatever. Like, I just have saved this up because you only get 15 ml of the product for 750 rupees. And I knew that if I would use it on a daily basis or regularly, I would run out of it very quickly. So I've just saved it up for the winters, and I'm definitely going to use it more often during the winters. Now, with this, I would definitely suggest that you use like a flat top kabuki brush. Only then you're going to get like a medium coverage. Otherwise, if you're using a beauty blender or you're just using your fingers to blend, this does not really look like a medium coverage. That's something I just wanted to suggest. If at all you have this and you're just wondering why do I not get the coverage from this foundation, I know the coverage can vary on the tool you're using. It depends on the tool you're using. So definitely use a kabuki brush. Again, I have a complete dedicated review on this. Maybe I'll put a card over here, you can click on it and watch this. I'm definitely keeping this one. Okay, then let's talk about L'Oreal Paris True Match Super Blendable Foundation. Now I'm in the shade Golden Sand. Now this is not the regular version, this is the version which has golden shimmer particles in it, and it has a very, not very dewy finish, but it has a very beautiful satin finish. I don't know why I took that long to just use that word, but anyways, it has a very beautiful satin finish. Not their regular version, like I think they have like a matte version of this, and then there's this one. This is the one with golden shimmer particles in it, and as much as I like this, I don't use it on a regular basis, only because I like to save this for special occasion. I really like it for special occasion because this has such a beautiful finish. Because of the golden shimmer in it, it just looks so beautiful on the skin. I have compared it with another foundation which I'll talk about very soon. I really like it, guys. If you are looking for a foundation which is you know, nice for wedding and all, which has a bit of glow to it, has a very beautiful coverage, looks nice on the skin, does not emphasize anything, it looks beautiful on the skin, definitely go for this. Yeah, let's talk about this. Lakme Absolute Illuminating Foundation. I never use this, never. I do not like it. I know I've mentioned this. I have done a comparison video on both of these foundations, and in that video a lot of you guys mentioned that you like this foundation. I mean, I'm not against that. I'm happy that you guys like this, but I just it's just waste of money for me. 750 rupees for 15 ml. I don't like the shimmer in this, I don't like the coverage in this, I don't like how it looks on the skin. Like, I do not understand why this is even called as a foundation. I know I've featured this in my disappointing videos. I should have gotten rid of this even like that point of time only, but I don't know why I've kept it so far. I just never use it. I don't remember using this even once. Like, of course, the time I tried it for review purposes, but after that I've never used it. Definitely getting rid of this. Okay, then let's talk about Maybelline's Fit Me Foundation. I have two of the shades. One which I bought initially, this was my first ever purchase, like Maybelline Fit Me purchase. I bought the shade 322, which is Warm Honey, and this turned out to be extremely, not extremely, but it was 2 to 3 shades darker than my skin tone, so I don't use this. However, I did finish it up by mixing it with other foundations, so this is actually empty, and my sister actually used it and it matched her perfectly. And then I have my shade, which is 310. I get this question a lot, what is my Maybelline Fit Me shade? And guys, I'm in the shade 310 Sun Beige. Okay, now again, I think this is also empty. Okay, so right now, as much as I love this foundation, I'm not going to repurchase this at the moment, because I do have other foundations which I like this just as much, or like those just as much as this, or even more, a little bit more. So I'm definitely going to talk about that foundation. But just to let you guys know, I do like Maybelline Fit Me Foundation a lot. It has a very beautiful satin finish. It is appropriate for both dry skin as well as oily skin. It has that kind of a finish. It has medium coverage, definitely buildable. So nothing against this foundation. It's not that I don't like this, but at the moment I do have other foundation which I like more than this. So I'm not repurchasing it at the moment. And since both of these are empty, both of these bottles are empty, I'm discarding the bottles. Let's talk about Nykaa's SkinGenius Sculpting and Hydrating Foundation. Now this is one foundation which I don't use as much as I use other foundations, but I do use it on time to time. What I do is I mix both of these foundations sometimes when I want like a perfect satin finish. Now this one has definitely a dewy finish and this one has a very matte finish. Definitely keeping this. I do like using this again just on its own, but I'm just not a huge fan of its coverage and how long lasting it is. So I like mixing these two, so I'm definitely keeping this one right now. Milani's Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation. I'm not in the shade medium beige, by the way. I bought this shade 04 and this does not match me perfectly. Now sometimes when I'm not tanned, I can pull this shade off, but most of the times this just looks very light on me. I'm considering I'm considering purchasing the correct shade. I think 06 should be my right shade, and I do like this. It has a very high coverage foundation. Two things which I've noticed with this foundation is when I wear this or when I apply this on my face tingles a little bit. I know it's weird, like a foundation makes your face tingle. I know, right? Like, it's so weird, but it does happen with me, which kind of makes me scared of the ingredients in this, but then I don't see anything bad happening to my skin, so I think, it's fine. And the other thing which I've noticed is that it looks so oily by the end of the day. Every time I've worn it, I look like oily mess. I know, it's fine when foundations make you look oily by the end of the day because it's natural. You have sweat glands on your skin which produce oil, it's normal. But with this, I look extremely oily. I do not know if I'm the only one who faces this problem or what it is, but it does happen with me. So that is why I'm just confused if I want to go ahead and buy my exact shade or not, because of this particular reason I don't use this as much. So for now I'm definitely keeping this foundation because it's brand new, and I do use it for like highlighting purpose because it's 2 shades lighter than my skin tone. So I'm keeping this, but I'm just not sure if I'm going to purchase my exact shade in this foundation. Okay, then let's talk about Blue Heaven's Florina foundation. I have a review on this again. Product under ₹200, foundation tried and tested. I do not like it. I did not recommend this foundation in that video as well. I never use it. I just don't like it. I don't like the finish, coverage, the way it blends. I don't like anything about this, so I'm definitely just discarding this foundation. Then I have Lakme's Invisible Foundation in the shade 02. Now one of you left me a comment that I should try 04 because you thought that 04 might be the correct match for me, and I completely agree. I have mentioned that this is a little bit lighter for my skin tone. I can pull it off after adding bronzer and everything. I'm definitely keeping this. It's a foundation which, if you would have said that it retails for $650 or $750, I would have agreed, but it only retails for $250. Beautiful coverage, beautiful finish, lasts a decent amount of time. There's nothing wrong that I can speak about it. It has a very nice soft matte finish. Everything about this is amazing, including the price. I'm definitely keeping this. Then let's talk about another Lakme foundation. I have 2 of these. Perfecting Liquid Foundation. Now this is darker, like I picked up a wrong shade online. I always do this, and this is, I think, my exact match. This one is in the shade, wait, I cannot see it. This one is in the shade Natural Marble, which matches me perfectly, and this one is in the shade Natural Coral. This I've kept it because I can mix this with lighter foundations to customize the shade. So that's why I'm definitely keeping this, the darker shade. And this one, the exact shade, I'm definitely keeping this again, because out of all the foundations that I tried in that series, products under ₹200, this one and this one, only these 2 products really stood out. Something that I see myself reaching out for and using it over and over again. And those are the only products I recommended in that video as well. And it is Nykaa's Stick Foundation in the shade 02. It is so convenient, so easy, so quick. Just open, twist, draw stripes on your face, blend it out with your finger, and you are done. Like, your face is ready for the day. And I'm just left with a little bit of it. I'm definitely keeping this. I'm thinking that I might need to repurchase this very soon because I know I'm going to run out of this very quickly. And yeah, this is the reason why I have not been using other foundations at the moment, because when you go to work in the morning or whenever you go to work, you don't have time to get ready. You really don't have. And something like this, a product like this, really comes in handy. So I'm definitely keeping this one. And then I have Maybelline's Fit Me Stick Foundation. I don't use this. mainly because the shade is not the exact shade. Yeah, shade does not match me, and also the undertone of this foundation is quite not pinkish. I wouldn't call this a pinky undertone. It has a neutral undertone, and this kind of undertone does not really suit me. It looks very ashy on my skin, and I'm sure that I picked up wrong shade as well. 130 is the shade. Again, something I never use. I don't remember, I don't recall using this ever, so I'm definitely getting rid of this one. Or maybe I should just keep it and give it to somebody who can get use out of it, because this is again brand new. Not brand new, but it is new and I have not used it. I don't want to just discard it. So I think I'm going to keep it, not for myself though, like for somebody else. Let's talk about my favorite, all-time favorite foundation, PAC HD Liquid Foundation. This is my exact shade. My exact shade has to be 2.1. I know I've confused you guys a few times, because I've mentioned, like when I reviewed this foundation, PAC foundation, my review of this foundation, that video I told you that I could have chosen 2.0 or something a little bit darker, but now that I have used it so many times, I just think that this matches me a lot better. Not just the shade, the undertone of this is also a lot better. Like right now I'm using 2.0 because when I ran out of this, 2.1 was not available, so I bought myself 2.0. I cannot speak. I bought myself 2.0, and this sadly does not, it has yellow undertone, don't get me wrong, but the yellow undertone in 2.1 is just perfect for my skin tone. It looks so natural. It's beautiful. In case if you guys are my skin tone and if you're wondering which one should you go for, 2.0 or 2.1, I would definitely suggest 2.1. Do I need to even talk about it? I'm definitely keeping this. One of the best foundations I've ever tried. You can use this on special occasions. You can even use this on like a daily basis if you want to. That's the finish, the coverage, how it lasts on the skin, everything about this is so perfect. The undertone is perfect. I'm definitely keeping this. Now talk about this. Lakme's Face Magic Skin Tint Souffle. Out of all the foundations that I tried in that series, this was a major disappointment. I do not understand the point of this. This is literally a tinted moisturizer which does not blend at all. I do not know how people use this. If you use this, hats off, because I honestly do not have that much of patience and time to make this product work. You can definitely somehow blend it into your skin, but then you don't get any coverage. It is just their peach milk moisturizer with a little bit of pigment. That's what I think. I mean, I'm not hating or anything, but that's just how I feel about this product. Of all the products that I tried in that series, this was a huge fail. Definitely discarding it. That's about it. I hope this video is not a million years long. I made sure that I'm not talking about every product in detail. If you guys thought that I was just too quick and rushing this up, that's because there were just a lot of products to talk about, and I have that tendency of talking for 5 minutes on a particular product, on one single product, and I know it can be frustrating, so that's the reason. And anyways, if you guys want to see dedicated review on any of these, I have most likely made on everything over here except a few, and I'll definitely put cards on the screen when I'm talking about these foundations. So in case you want to see a dedicated review, you can definitely click on those cards and watch the video. And again, I'll mention the price and the names, shade names of all of these foundations in the description box below, so you can check that out. And yeah, that's about it finally. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please let me know if you guys would want to watch a similar kind of video on any other product or makeup product, be it lipsticks. I really want to do something like that. I mean, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!